All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Griffin Murphy from DocSports.com, and I am going to give you guys a rapid-fire breakdown of the NFL opening lines for Week 7. Not Week 6, not this upcoming weekend, Week 7. This is going to be rapid-fire, intuitive. I'm going to look at these lines, and I'm going to give you guys a brief explanation why I think the play is there, or if it's not there, or if I'm going to shade away from it. This article right now, and the link of this article is going to be in the description, so you can go check that out. This article was written by our writer, Mike Allen. So I'm going to go right off of this. He includes 3 free plays inside of this. I'm going to give you guys my opinion on his 3 plays as well as the rest of the slate. So, look ahead lines. Let's jump right into this thing. For game number 1, he has the under in the Denver Broncos at 37.5 at New Orleans Saints. I agree with this play, and I disagree for a couple reasons. First off, I'm going to read off his breakdown, and then I'll chop up what I think. This brings us to our first look-ahead line best bet for Week 7 in the NFL. Let's look at the Denver Broncos under machine as they travel to New Orleans. It's almost an identical play. The Saints just put Derek Carr on the IR due to an oblique injury. Reports are out that the rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler will get the nod in Week 6. He'll probably be sharper in his second outing. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. However, the Week 7 total could go even further south because in all likelihood, Rattler has had a rough outing in his debut. Both defenses are healthy. Both offensive lines are unhealthy. This could change, but we have firepower right now on this under. I agree with this play, but at the same time, I disagree. I watched Spencer Rattler when he played with South Carolina, and obviously that's SEC football, but that is not the NFL by any means. So the pace of play definitely is going to be there and not in his favor by any means. So looking at this game right now, Bo Nix has taken over for this Denver Broncos team, and then you have Spencer Rattler. You have a current total sitting at under 37.5. That does seem trappish to me, although I still do like the play. I agree with him on this play. I think this total will go a little bit lower than it is right now. So for game number 1, I am going to agree with Mike on that under 37.5. Going to game number 2, we have the Atlanta Falcons laying 2.5 against the Seattle Seahawks. The Atlanta Falcons have had by Mike Allen, just so everybody knows, the Atlanta Falcons have had one test after another to start the 2024 regular season. They've played 5 playoff caliber teams in 5 weeks. This Sunday will be a little different. The Falcons finally have an opportunity to be the bully this week and a short trip up to Charlotte to play the Panthers before they host the Seahawks in Week 7. There won't be much home field advantage, nor will it be talent advantage for the Panthers against Atlanta. The Falcons likely soar in this one. While the Seahawks have to play their 3rd game in 10 days against the 49ers on Thursday, while Atlanta holding serve and Seattle struggling, this line could easily move to more of a field goal for the Falcons. I agree with him here. You have an Atlanta Falcons team who is absolutely dice rolling right now. The Seattle Seahawks just got absolutely torn apart in their most recent matchup. They have not climbed together fully as a team. They are solidified when it comes to the offensive side. They have a very good quarterback and Geno Smith. I think he's a solid quarterback. Phenomenal tailback with Kenneth Walker. DJ Metcalf, absolutely outstanding wide receiver. But they just can't put the pieces together. On the other side of things, you've got a very good quarterback with Kirk Cousins. Atlanta playing very good football right now. It already seems laying 2.5 points. Take this play on the money line. I agree with Mike on this play, but the best bet for me in this play would be taking them on the money line straight up. Next game, Green Bay Packers. He's got laying 2.5 versus the Houston Texans. Packers are a 5-point favorite in this week to the Cardinals. Honestly, Arizona may have the most inconsistent team in the league. I would disagree with that, Mike. I'm sorry, my friend. It's hard to get ahead on that one, but I have above average faith in this Green Bay team and coach to find a way to win. This could push this line up to 3 points, but I think the Texans take care of that themselves. C.J. Stroud isn't the same quarterback on the road as he is at home. Furthermore, he will be out without his biggest target, Nico Collins, who is sidelined. I agree with that as well on C.J. Stroud. He is not the same quarterback on the road than he is at home. We told you Seattle would probably look bad in their Tony Sapporo sandwich game against the Giants. Hopefully you got the -3 for San Francisco against them already because it is 3.5. It's up to 3.5 this week. I mentioned this because the Houston Texans have a fresh footing sitting at shoulder height, front and center, as them travel to Foxborough on Sunday after an emotional win versus Buffalo the previous week and a showdown with Green Bay in Week 7. The Texans can play a tight one here against the Pats. This one, I am going to have to agree with. I have seen a spark out of Jordan Love, and I've mentioned in previous shows and everything else, Jordan Love, to me, I hated him. I'm an NFC North guy. I love the Chicago Bears, diehard Bears fan for too long, honestly. Watching this team lose left and right has driven me out of my mind. And then I was actually asked a question by Tony George the other day on a show about, do I think this Houston Texans team is elite, with Nico Collins and Mixon both in the lineup? I do think they're a very good team, but I think they're right under the border of being elite. I think they're a playoff caliber team. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. Green Bay right now, Green Bay is playing inconsistent football, but they have all the tools and all the metrics to be spectacular. They have a phenomenal coach. I like their coach. I don't love their coach, but they have a phenomenal team in general. And right now, with Jordan Love at the helm, I agree with this play 100%. If Jordan Love can come out striking and really darting the way that I seen him dart the football in his most recent matchup, I love the Packers in this one, laying the 2.5 points. But once again, we shift this to a money line play. When you are laying anything under 3, automatically take that on the money line play. Do not lay points. If you're getting anything under than 3, you take the points always. Don't ever get beat by that hook. So, Mike, I'm going to agree with you on this play, absolutely. Now, for my look-ahead lines, these are all games where Mike has absolutely no action on. I'm just going to look at these numbers and throw you guys my brief explanation of exactly what I think is going to happen in these games. So, right here, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars laying 5.5 against the New England Patriots, who are getting 5.5. Total sitting at 40. Easy play here for me. That's taking the Jags. Jags are just so due to erupt right now offensively. They just haven't got the job done. They have all the tools to do so. They've got ETN in the backfield. You know, you got Trevor Lawrence at that quarterback spot. You have all the wide receiver tools in the world that you need. They just haven't put it together. New England on the other side, they thrive on their defense, and their defense isn't even that good for sake. They just lost to Miami last week in a 15-10 final, and Miami doesn't even have a quarterback. So give me the Jags minus 5.5. Next game, Tennessee Titans getting 7.5 points at Buffalo Bills, total 43. So I'd love to take the Titans on this play. The problem is I don't know who's going to be their starting quarterback after this week. Will Levis be the guy, or will Mason Rudolph be the guy? I don't know. But one thing for sure I can tell you is this. Either of these two quarterbacks get the start, points will be scored. Will Levis airs the ball out. And if he airs it out too deep, well, guess what? He throws turnovers, interceptions. So that puts the ball back in Buffalo's hands, and we all know what they're capable of doing on the offensive side, and that is scoring points. So give me that total play on over 43. Don't even pick a side in this matchup. We'll know much more going into the next following week, but right now, give me that over on the total 43. Next game, Cincinnati Bengals laying 3.5 at Cleveland Browns. Total sitting at 45.5. This is a weird one for me, honestly. I don't really want much to do with it. Joe Burrow's finally starting to really light it up. And then you have the Cleveland Browns, who really have a strong defense all across the boards, and they are just struggling at one specific spot, and that's at quarterback with Deshaun Watson. And everybody knows what Deshaun's capable of doing. He's just not doing it right now. So for me right now, fade away from this one. That's definitely a fade play. Going into the next game, we've got the Miami Dolphins plus 3.5 at Indianapolis Colts. Total sitting at 43.5. This is another weird game for me. Miami, Tyler Huntley, currently at that quarterback spot. Waddle's finally looking good. Mozart's looking good. Their offense is kind of moving the ball in a different atmosphere. But head coach, there's no momentum there whatsoever. And then you look at the Colts right now, and they don't have a quarterback. Is Flacco going to come out and do what he did with Cleveland last season? I guess we're just going to have to wait and see and find out. Right now, for me, if I had to lean anywhere on this play, it would be an under, but it's just something that I'm not totally sold on by any means. So for that one, I'm going to shy off of it. Light lean on that under 43 points. Next game, Detroit Lions getting 1.5 at Minnesota. Total sitting at 48.5. Total right now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, that's way too high. This is a trap game automatically. Minnesota Vikings, they apply so much pressure on that pass rush on the defensive side. Detroit Lions, they might be a little bit overhyped this season. They are very fast off the ball, but Jared Goff can be a turnover machine at times. So give me the under 48.5 points in that game. Next game, we've got the Philadelphia Eagles laying 4 points, New York Giants. Giants coming off a very nice win in their most recent matchup, and that puts me in an indecision situation because I don't don't know what this Giants team is capable of doing on all sides of the spectrum. You don't know if Daniel Jones is going to come out. So right now for me in this game, absolute fadeaway. Eagles right now are not playing good football. A.J. Brown's finally coming back into the lineup. He's been hurt. Jalen Hurts has not done anything this season. Saquon Barkley is going off right now. I have to say, hands down, cap off to him. But for this one, for me, if I was to go anywhere with this is a rivalry matchup. 4 points. They did this on purpose. They want to squeeze that line so there's no money line play intake. So you're going to want to look at a total in this matchup. I just don't like the total in general right now, so I'm going to fade this one. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders +4 at Los Angeles Rams. Well, we have a huge issue right now for the Rams right now, and that is Puka unhealthy, Cooper Kupp unhealthy. I know Puka is playing right now, but he's playing obviously injured. Cooper Kupp is still out. That leaves Matthew Stafford wide receiver list. He's got nowhere to throw the ball to. He's not even hitting his tight ends. Their offense looks brutal right now. Their defense is just as bad. And then for the Raiders right now, you don't even know who you got at starting quarterback. Aiden O'Connell's getting the start this week. So they're kind of a mess as well right now. Something I don't want to touch. I'd stay away from this game. Total sitting at 44. I would drill the under if I had to right now off the bat, just off my head, just because I don't see either of these two offenses getting off the bus. Next game, Carolina Panthers getting 8.5 points at Washington Commanders. Total sitting at 48 points. Automatic trap bet to me. Two teams going at it right now. Carolina Panthers, Andy Dalton starting at the quarterback spot, and then you got Jaden Daniels absolutely lighting it up. Everybody knows how explosive this offense is with the Washington Commanders. And then you look at the Panthers right now. Since Bryce Young has been out, they're 1-1, and on top of that, Andy Dalton does look like a pretty solid quarterback, I would say, in that position. So for me, I think this total's priced up way too high at 48, so I drill the under on this one. Next game, Kansas City Chiefs getting a point at San Francisco. This seems like a total trap for me. Take the Niners on the money line. Shave that -1. Kansas City Chiefs, I don't even think they have a loss yet this season. They're undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. They may have one loss. And I don't have anything in front of me right now, so excuse me if I have a couple mistakes here, just to be clear here. But currently, total sitting at 46.5. I wouldn't be looking at a total right now. And when you see any game where the Chiefs are getting points in this matchup, when you see the Chiefs getting points in a matchup, there's something obviously totally mismatched on the play. So give me the Niners here on the money line. Next game, New York Jets +1 at Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, I've got to say, Justin Fields finally lighting it up. Well, I mean, he's lighting it up all season long. New York Jets, they just fired their head coach. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Aaron Rodgers looks like complete crap right now, and the Steelers right now are playing really good football. This one to me, at a total sitting at 37, you have a very good defense out of the New York Jets, a quarterback who's been very inconsistent. That's a liability in my eyes. Steelers have a very good defense, and they have a quarterback who's starting to prove himself on that side of things. I don't like either side here, and I got to say, I don't like the total either, sitting at 37. It gives me a form of uncomfort, so I'm going to fade away from that one as well. Next game, Baltimore Ravens laying 4.5 points at Tampa Bay against the Bucs. Total sitting at 47. I mean, this seems too easy for me, but right now, the way that it looks and appears the way the Ravens are playing, currently they're sitting at 3-2. They should be 4-1, and really they're playing mismatch kind of football. They're really not getting the job done. The Ravens should blow out the Bucs in this matchup. The Bucs are not capable by any means of being anywhere near as tier as a team as the Ravens when it comes to Derek Henry in the backfield, averaging 6 yards a carry. Then you've got Lamar, slippery as all hell, and he could air it the hell out whenever he wants. He's got wide receiver weapons across the board. And then you look at Tampa Bay right now, I believe they're coming off a pretty bad beat. On top of that, Baker Mayfield's coming off a very bad performance. They have good star talent on the offensive side. Their defense is what worries me. And when you play a team like the Baltimore Ravens, who are as explosive as they are on the offensive side, I'm just not going against that side. So this for me would be either taking the Ravens -4.5 or that total at 47. I'd probably drill the under. That's where I'd look at this one, especially with the Ravens. They run that utility-based defense, and that could shake Baker Mayfield the way that he plays football downfield. He likes to air the ball out, and that typically moves Roquan as a zone type of coverage linebacker, which could be a problem for Baker in this one. And then my last game here would be the LA Chargers for Mike Allen, of course. It would be the LA Chargers at Arizona Cardinals, and this is a pick'em game. This is easy for me. Take the Cardinals. They're one of the most underrated teams in football. You got Connor in the backfield. You got Kyler Murray. You have wide receiver upon wide receiver. They're explosive offensively. Chargers still haven't kicked it off to the season yet. So right now in this circumstance, we got to see what happens this weekend, and if the Chargers can't pick their crap up because they're playing terrible football right now. If they pick it up, this may change for me, but easy for me right now. I would be taking the Cardinals here on the money line. Wouldn't even be looking at a total. So that is my NFL look ahead for week 7. This is written by Mike Allen. If you guys want to go ahead and check this article out, it is on the Doc Sports website, and the link is in the description. Once again, my name is Griffin Murphy. I am from Doc Sports. Best of luck to you guys. Remember, these are leans. These are not my selections. This could all change in a week from now. So just letting you guys know. And once again, best of luck to you guys, and best bets.